A family, a family, a family. That might be my new look. Alrighty, man. I just want to say thanks for the love and the support that the Couch Talk Show has been getting. I just want to say thank you for the love and the support that the Couch Talk Show has been getting. I'll be trying to stick to a regular time, y'all. And basically, my regular time, as y'all know, supposed to be, hey, John, at 4 to 4:45, right? But for some reason, I haven't been waking up that late. I mean, that early. Mainly if I've been up all night. I'll get up, check my phone for messages, calls, return calls, stuff like that. And then I go back out again. If I don't have to do anything. But I was sitting there talking with my son and about some of the stuff I hear on TikTok. I am not um dealing with people, and I'm trying to find a way to put the words right. It seems like dealing with people in society as a whole, we do not talk the way I hear this stuff on TikTok. Even talking with my son, we do not conversate like this. A lot of the stuff, like the 304, the words that they use over here, and I'm talking with my son, and I'm like, have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of that? And he's like, no, Dad, we don't use certain languages. And I'm, hey, Don, and I'm like blown. But anyway, I told my son, I said, because he was wondering why I ain't go live, right? And I was telling him, I was just waking up because I didn't go to sleep at like 12, right? I don't know. I'm trying to, I wanted to come on here, and the goal with coming on to do the Teen Talk Show. But since it's so late, I said I ain't even gonna do the Teen Talk Show. Just talking about, you know, teens, their behaviors. And I'm gonna go back to the conversation we had yesterday. And I'm talking with a bunch of grown people. Don, I'm talking with a bunch of grown people, right? And all of a sudden I said, you know what? The conversation we had would go great for the Teen Talk Show conversation. And I guarantee you, y'all don't even get it. A bunch of grown people, Don, was actually beginning to sound like a bunch of children. I was like, and the behaviors. And Don, when I got up, right, I'm looking at the ages of like from 1 to, I'm gonna say 12. Children gonna be children, right? Because they young. Then I went from 13, Don, to 19, because that's the age group that I mainly try to work with, right? From 13 to 19, and I'm looking at grown-ups. And then I'm gonna skip over 20 to 21 on up, because this time, as far as the men, supposed to be considered as at 21 men. Why am I over here, Don, in my head, looking at like the childhood phase, the teenage phase up to 19, and then I'm gonna just say 21. You consider that, well, 18 for the queens, right? The young babies, for women to become like they women at 18. I'm just saying, right? And I don't want to confuse nobody, but I was sitting up here, Don, and I'm looking at some grown people acting like a bunch of teenagers. That age group between 13 and 19. I said, you know what, Don, last night I wanted to switch over into the Teen Talk Show part, because I said, y'all remind me so much of what I would like to talk about on the Teen Talk Show. And I had to tell myself, Don, Steve, you dealing with some very, 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 I'm going to say, because they grown, immature, sick people. And Don, be honest with you, that's a frightening feeling. I'm like, ooh. But now, I'm only experiencing stuff like this on TikTok. Even though I'm gonna say in Baltimore City, Don, I deal with the youth as well. And I see certain behaviors, and we know they're young. They're not grown yet. So in my case, because mine's are grown now, my youngest is 22. But as they was growing up, Don, I had to deal with them age appropriately. They was 10. I didn't want my children to act like they were 12, 13, 14, they 10. Once they got to 14, I'm just saying, I didn't want them to act like they was 18, mainly my girls, more mature than what they was, because some of them people tend to think, oh, she hot, she this, she that. No. So I wanted them to enjoy their lives. You 14, be 14. When you turn 15, enjoy your years of being 15. Age appropriately. You don't have to act more mature than what you really are. Even though things happen, but you try to teach them that you don't have to act grown or older than what you really are. Enjoy your years, because sooner or later you're going to be grown anyway. You're growing into it. And that's how I had to raise my children, Don. I didn't want them to, it was like, act or behave more older than what they really were. I wanted them to enjoy their years. And the reason why I'm saying it, Don, and I want you to talk to, since you came up. Growing up for me, and I look back at my mother, right? Because she taught me, men take care of their responsibilities. Now, mind you, I wasn't no man. I was 10 years old. Cooking, cleaning, sewing, all this stuff. So when I look back at it, Dawn, it was like she put adult responsibilities on me when I was a child. So as a result of that, it was a lot of pressure throughout the years. And wait a minute, and I started doing the things that I was doing. To me, the reason why I'm saying this, because I feel like, be honest, I miss my teenage years and I miss my early 20s because I was trying to be more mature than what I really was, growing up fast wise. And I was determined I was not going to put that stress and that on my children.
Right.
Right. So that's why I had to do things the way I did. But yesterday, and I'm not knocking none of y'all welcome to come up, all that. But when you come on my show, I want structure to the show. I know we're gonna go left from time to time. And the goal is I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. So if I tell you, if I see it's going out of whack, and I say mute up, mute up, mute up, mute up, and I'm trying to be nice, you don't mute up, I will drop you. Real simple. Because my thing is, you're not going to be disrespecting my panel. You're not going to be disrespecting my talk show. The same way I'm recording towards TikTok, I'm recording on my Restream broadcast network right here. So that's why if you see my head turn a little bit, I'm doing like this. But I got them both together where I won't have to move my head too much. It'll be just on one. Now, it might not matter to the people on TikTok, but this means a lot to me. My talk show, it means a lot. This is like business to me. That's why it's the Couch Talk Show, where I do a broadcast network where it's streaming all over the world.
Right.
If somebody
I just came up to say something real quick, not to take you off of your train of thought, but I've been anticipating you contacting me because I've been working with that young lady, and I just need to write out my outline. You know what I'm saying? On how I need to go about things, and then that's all I need. I mean, I'm willing to pay you for the consultation. And secondly, the reason why I left the other day, because the young girl that was that I said was cute, pretty, or whatever, when she was talking about the sound and all that, there was no sound. Everything is off just like it is now, except for the lights. And I didn't feel like her telling me what to do at 64 years old. I just didn't feel like that, so I just, dropped myself. You know what I'm saying? It's not what you say, it's how you say it, and the truth is very important. So I don't know what the dynamics were behind that, but I just didn't want to feed into it.
Well, I had a talk with her last night, and and I know a lot of people because we're older,
right?
And we're not used to somebody that young because they old enough to be our child. Real simple.
Exactly. Right.
And I don't mind her up here. I don't mind her feeding people certain things, but I was trying to point out to her myself, right, that stop feeding into certain things. Right. You don't always have to respond somewhat in a negative way. Now, she might not see it as negative, but the moment somebody says something about your age, it's like, I knew you was going to do this. Well, anyway, make a long story short. Right? If she come over, she come over. If not, I almost blocked her yesterday.
Right, I understand.
And
because like you said, this is a professional panel, and you want to keep it that way. You don't want to lose people just because of somebody else. It's your panel. You're the host, and that should be respected.
Right. And what I was saying, and that's why I was telling her, you stop. It's like you argue with all the women. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the way she's doing it is like being a little sarcastic in a way, but you arguing.
Exactly.
And I want you to be able to be yourself, speak your truth, whatever, whatever, whatever. But if somebody talking about something and you don't agree, like all of us up here, and somebody come up because they need some help or they want to know something, do
Right.
not say, because she made a statement out of her mouth, well, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I said, don't do that. Do not do that. Mainly when it comes to other moderators, you're not going to be trying to, you might not agree with everything they say, but that's where they're coming from. That's where they at. And whatever they say, somebody need to hear. That's all I've been trying to tell her. So through talking with her yesterday, she was going through some stuff. I already knew it. And I to move away from everybody else, I told her, I need you to talk. I need you to talk about where you at, what's going on with you in your life, because I feel like something is personally happening with you and you're taking it out on other people. Well, I don't discuss my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I say, well, look, I'm all right with that. You don't really have to here. But if you want to talk, you can talk, because I sense you're going through some personal stuff. Right? And what was happening, Dawn, Daddy was kicking in. And I had to actually back up off it because, you know, right now we come up, we talk about stuff, whether it's good, bad, ugly, we talk about it and we help other people. But now you hurting inside for some personal stuff, but you don't want to release yourself. So I shut up for a while, and she had said something out of mouth that before I get honest with you and tell you the truth, I will block you.
Oh, that's what she said?
Uh-huh. And when she said that, I almost blocked her and dropped her. I said, don't you ever. I said, me and you, we ain't like that. I call you my daughter. Right? So I feel like if you need somebody to talk to, in a sense, Dawn, Daddy here. Right? But that's why I said I had to back up. So for about 5 minutes, I kind of paused. Because now I'm in my head saying to myself, I got to let you go. I got to let you go. Because, one, I was hoping and praying that she wouldn't flip. Because it seemed like every time I give people praises for their spiritual balance or something like that, and Dawn, I don't want to do it. I said I'm gonna stop encouraging people, empowering people, and motivating people that I feel like they're spiritually balanced. Because once you flip on me, now I'm mad because I felt like I misjudged you. I'm mad with me because I'm thinking that, you know, but this was somebody told me a long time ago, Dawn, to help me understand some stuff. She said, Steve, what you have a tendency of doing, you look past the bad, you see the good. And that's why you try to overlook things, right? But once you expose yourself for who you really are, and I spot you, I had no problem in letting you go.
Right, exactly.
And basically, through the conversation, I was hesitating to basically drop her and block her. But she went on and dropped, right? Because my thing is, I thought whatever little connection we had as far as like father-daughter was better than that.
Right.
And I feel as though you don't trust me. And if you don't trust me for whatever reason, then you don't need to be up here. Mainly when she made that statement, before I get personal, I will block you. So my thing is, you don't trust me. I know you don't know me, but it's enough of us on here, and you're going to be a part of a team. So she was saying stuff like, well, I ain't going to say nothing no more. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that, which is fine. She was going to shut her own self down. But then she kept talking about, like, everything she kept saying was pointing towards divine. Divine not here. She was pointing towards the divine, like she got an issue with divine. And divine don't know you like that, but you coming at divine. another person say something, you coming at them. And I'm like, you can't do it. But this is the stuff I talk about because I'm going to observe you very well. And to me, if you had a healthy connection with your mother, because I'm looking at who she's arguing with, and they're old enough to be her mother. And I gave her the opportunity to talk about whatever it is. Because my thing is you're targeting people, the elders, I was gonna say elders. The
But that's the truth.
Right,
It's the
right.
elders, right.
And I'm like, you steady finding a way to feel like you need to outpower them or acknowledge, like you're a very intelligent young lady. Just keep it there. But now it was just me, her, and Truth. And Truth was telling her, because I shut up. So some of the stuff I was feeding her, Truth started feeding her. That's just how me and Truth balance out. So I had to remind her that everything Truth was saying is what I would have said anyway. But the whole focus was to just focus on yourself. The whole purpose, I'm sorry, was to just focus on yourself.
Right.
Right?
I understand.
Stay in your box. Whenever you open up your mouth to talk, it's for us to encourage the ones that's coming up because you are a moderator. I feel like you're a part of my team. So I don't need my team going back and forth. And I told them this. I said, before I started my LLC, I was with a group of people.
Right.
And they were starting this he say, she say. And I told them, because I wanted them to be a part of the business and everything. Do not bring that bull junk into the business. They came into the business with that same bull junk. He said this, she said that. And I dropped them all.
Right.
I told her, I don't want chaos and confusion
exactly.
to what I'm doing. And I know things going to come. I already know.
Right, because you're dealing with a vast amount of different people with diversity. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's going to have a different perspective. So on what you're talking about. But I find your live to be very inspiring and, very positive. But when that negativity came out like that, I don't deal with negativity very well. So I just excuse myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old for that. Right. And like I said, I just came from the emergency room today. So I had to go to the emergency room. Yeah. But other than that, I'm doing fine. I'm blessed. Ooh. God woke me up this morning. I'm humble and I'm thankful.
And I got you. I got your number and everything.
Right.
And I haven't forgot you. It's just that now, when I'm up late like this,
yes,
and I have to rest back up, and throughout the day, I have to check my messages because I'll get phone calls because a lot of people think my housing program is a shelter. So they be, seeing what I bring them in or whatever. And I will get phone calls real late at night too. But that's why I had to mute my phones. But the thing is, it's just me talking to you, real simple. Taking that time to call you. I don't know what's going on with some of these people over here. But the other day, somebody came up on my platform, a team of people that I used to be with, right? I don't know, they starting some mess. I'm like, what? So look, I happened to check my phone, and the person that's running that platform, me and him, we talk business talk.
Right.
I don't know what them people over there talking about. Why y'all got me in y'all stuff? So he called me. And
but you know what they say, if you talked about, you thought about. They talked about Jesus Christ. So, and you're out there on a platform where it's, like I said, to reiterate, you're dealing with different dynamics. Some you got that are really on the, I don't want to say ignorant side, but, it is what it is. And you're dealing with people with different levels of education and just dealing with different kind of people.
And Don, what amazed me, right?
Yeah.
We was over there at one point, we having fun, clowning, doing all of this, right? I backed up. Now, the couch talk I've been doing for years before this person named their stuff. So I think some people thought that I was emulating that person. But they went on my Facebook, they went on YouTube to look at my stuff, right? Because I broadcast. And they came up to say whatever conversations was being had, they did not know that I had my own broadcast network. But the person knew. It was just we was merging together, the hosts, right? Business wise and all that. So I look like what you said, not being smart. I'm over here because my platform is totally different. I'm doing my thing. And like you said, I'm like, dang, I got nothing else better to do. But start that he say, she saying about me. And I'm like, what?
But you know what? Let me tell you, I forgot how it goes, but I don't like gossip either. You know, bottom line. And if I want to hear some gossip, I'll pick up the National Enquirer. You know, but people with, I don't want to say low educational levels, but people that have different educational levels or whatever, you know, some of them just don't. I forgot where I was going with
I know. But you know, I kind of laughed at it, right? Because like you said, Dawn, you know, I already know they talked about Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
And it's like you in your world, minding your business, trying to do this, do that, do this. And I know people like keeping drama going.
Right,
You know.
exactly.
But it just amazes me so much with us as grown-ups, grandparents. And I just laugh at it because, you know, I don't know what's happening over there. I don't like in Baltimore City as well. I don't deal with a lot of people like I used to. And I'll sit back and I say, y'all know I love y'all. Keep doing the great work you're doing, stuff like that.
Right.
Once in a while, I might pop up to their community events, but other than that, that's your stuff. I don't have to, you know. So, but I try to respect people for where they at with what they do, because I have to stick to what I was called to do.
Right.
And just to know sometimes, Dawn, that people over there saying this and saying that, not realizing that's why a lot of people gravitate to what I do. Because you want a bad mouth and they're going to go and say, I want to see if he really like what they say. Until they come over and find out he nothing like what they said. And that's what I laugh about. Because you don't realize talking bad about me, you bringing attention to me.
Right, exactly.
And I realized that throughout the years. You know, I learned not to call people names no more, Dawn, because when I first started doing what I do in Baltimore City, I would call out our politicians. I was talking about whatever they was doing that wasn't right, but I was putting a name to it. And later I found out that if they choose to sue you, Steve, you know, they can sue you for defamation of character.
Right, exactly.
So I had to stop calling names on my talk show. As far as when it comes to dealing with our politicians and dealing with the religious sector, I had to start watching, putting a name. You'll know what I'm talking about when I say certain things, but don't put the name to it.
Exactly.
And that's what I learned.
Right. You can be sued for defamation of character.
So I try to watch it, you know, mainly, like I said, when it comes to the professional side of things, you know, business and all of that, you have to watch it.
Right.
You know, when I'm with people, Dawn, and we talking business, it's business.
Right.
If I'm on here, and it's still in a way it's business to me, but it's the talk show. And the way I look at it, I look at us being therapeutic.
Mhm,
And
right,
and
exactly.
yeah, and when somebody come up, if they dealing with depression, if they dealing with certain things, and
Right,
we can tell them, if you dealing with anything, bipolar, schizophrenic, whatever, you can share with that person what you do to help keep
right,
some peace in your life, you
exactly.
know. And because some people, they lost, and even though they on meds, nobody taught them how to think positive about stuff, so they won't go into a state of depression with the meds.
Exactly.
Now, people might say, "How you know this? How you know that?" Because this is the type of population of people that I deal with, and I have to pay a lot of attention to them because
Right,
I know the meds will balance them out. If
exactly.
if some of the meds are too strong, then I was going to say we, but you got we. It's normally a we because I'll call a psychiatrist myself and
Right,
let her know that certain things is keeping you down and out and no energy, stuff like that. So they have to balance it out for you.
exactly.
See,
That's what I really enjoy about your live is because it is therapeutic. It's a safe space where you can come and share, what you're going through and get support. And when you have a negative person on your panel, it stops the blessings for people who are in your audience. You don't want to stop the blessings
right,
from, people hearing the blessings because you might be saving somebody's, you know what I'm saying?
right. I
Yeah.
got you.
hmm Yeah.
And
It's
and and
important to be allowed to get your message out.
and
And
thanks,
the people,
Dawn.
I'm not meaning to cut you off, but even people on your panel, that was the only incident. But other than that, it's been like perfect. I mean, I really enjoy it. It's very positive, and you help a lot of people. You even help me, so I greatly appreciate it. But I don't want your message not to go to the audience because people need you. This is a hard time for people in America right now. And people are suffering with depression and anxiety and all these different emotions going on. And people really need a person like you know, not
Thank
just
you.
the homeless people, but other people, you know.
And you know, look, I deal with them all. But like you said, Don, I anybody, be honest, that reach out to me,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I know you might be struggling. You could be struggling financially. Um, the whole thing is putting somebody in your life that can help you restructure your life. Real simple. That's what I'm looking at because I can't do it by myself. I
Mm-hmm.
can only say certain things to you, and if you want the help, you reach out. The point is, I have people with me, professionals that can guide you. That's all.
Right,
But you
right.
got to be willing to want to make those changes, in
Exactly.
life. So, but for me, I was telling them too what I have to do. I know I talk a lot, but what I have to do is listen more because when anybody come to you, you have to listen to where they at in order to better guide them to a better
Exactly.
place, more safer place. And if you steady talking and you're not listening to them, you're not gonna be able to help them, you know.
Exactly. Got to be a good listener.
And that's all I try to let people know.
Right,
Um,
right,
I just my heart just goes out to our people,
right. Me
and
too.
sometimes in my mind, right, not as much, but I'm looking like this because I have to remind myself. I don't know how many times out the day, but I'm just saying, Steve, you're not Jesus Christ. Steve, you're not the Savior. Oh yes, I am. Like, Steve, and I like joking about it, right? Because I be honest, that's what you want. You want but then in reality, you realize, nah, you can only encourage them and motivate them, and if they if they get the message to understand that we are here. I don't want to just say me, but we are here. to help you move forward in your life. And like you said, like you said, Dawn, even though I mainly deal with the homeless and the less fortunate population, a lot of them people that I deal with don't suffer from certain issues, psychological issues. So that's why you have to diagnose people to see where they at, and then you have to guide. Some of them just need somebody to help them balance back out financially, stuff like that. They might need somebody to help them get a better paying job, stuff like that, right? I'm just saying. But whatever the services that's needed is people like myself that will connect you to the businesses or the nonprofits that will actually help you move forward.
Right, exactly.
That's all. And I don't have a problem if I'm in Baltimore, you in Philly. I'm just using these as examples, or you in Chicago, and I will suggest to you, mainly if you're trying to do community stuff or nonprofit stuff, about getting more involved into your community. That mainly that specific area that you want your nonprofit in.
Right, that's what she was saying, but I live in the suburbs way out away from Detroit. However, I do want to go to Detroit, and it's not safe everywhere.
Right.
But I want to go there and try to find the dwelling that I would like to utilize. But I don't know if do you go and get something that's already existing? Do you put that in an application, or do you wait and just find the property after you get the monetary?
Well, normally you already have to be established. And basically what I mean, if you can afford a building, get a building. But if you can't afford
a building.
Right. So because you can't afford a building, what you do, you look for like I'm giving you a multi-purpose center. You can go to a church that might let you use the lower part of their facility for a certain amount of hours, right? You can explain to them, I'm gonna just use this as an example, that I want to feed the homeless from, I'm gonna say 12 to 3, right? And they got a kitchen in there. You just gonna feed them during that time. And if they don't have nothing or nobody doing nothing during that time, they won't mind you doing it there. They might not charge you. Some of them will just let you use the space for free.
Right.
Some of them might say, well, give me $50 a month, something like that. It's not to hurt you, right? But it's to provide that space. Now you can go to some of these senior citizen buildings that has a nice space in it.
Yes.
Just to see, can you do your business there? And I'm just talking about mainly nonprofit stuff, using it as an example. Because what you're doing, you have to start the work itself first.
Okay.
Right? As you begin to get known, then you can go do your LLC with it, or you can go and do the 501c3. Right? Because now you're getting a little recognition and you've been doing it for a little bit. And people recognizing it. Now, what I do, once you get established to that degree, the couch talk is where I come to promote the work and to advertise my business. It's just like marketing. I'm not good with marketing yet, but I'm trying to merge the three together. But
I can help you with that.
Yeah.
That's what my degree is in, business and marketing.
Okay, good. So you get me with that. Since you there, that's how you do it. Now, everything I'm basically saying, if you Google strengthen the community, the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope, and put Steve Copeland in there, it's going to tell you who I am and what I'm doing. Right. Not only that, since you marketing, I got a Google page. I had to set up the Google. Not only that, my website. I had to set up my website. So if you go on my Google, it's going to tell you that he's on LinkedIn. It's going to tell you he's on Instagram. It's going to tell you all the other social media sites that I use, right? So you can sit back and it will tell you everything that I do. That what he's saying is not, he's not lying. He's real. But you'll turn around and say, nah, he got to be fake. That's why I mean, like, people want to twist it, right? But I don't worry about that because my work speaks for itself. So,
You know, I haven't done the research yet because I've been under the weather. However, I believe what you're telling me because my spirit can feel your spirit if you believe that or not. And I can, you know, very in tune with my body and my spirit. So when we first met, I remember telling you that God brought me there for a reason, you know, and he did because we're kind of basically doing the same thing. I'm just not doing the homeless shelter yet, you know what I'm saying? But it's been on my mind for a long time. You know, it's two things that's been on my mind that God has quickened to me, and that is the homeless shelter and also writing an autobiography. Those are two things that God has told me I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, he laid on my spirit to begin to rehab and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City. And to open up 4 multi-purpose centers, east, north, south, and west. Right? So that's what he laid on my spirit. But what I begin to understand too, you have to prepare. You have to line the people up. Prepare them to move into these places or to move forward. You know, in the multi-purpose center, which I'm going to name after my son, Stephen Copeland Jr. Multi-Purpose Center for Inner City Youth, because he plays soccer. So the goal is, you know, it's a gift from us to the city.
Right.
I want to have in it like the School of the Arts, music, theater, art, dance, and stuff like that. So we will have people come in to embrace our children's talents, whether it's music, art, like dancing. They real good at it, but they need somebody to help them be more professional with it. Whether it's theater, you know, get them into acting, stuff like that, but somebody know how to work with them to prepare them. All of this type of programs I want in the multi-purpose center. But now this is where I got to go at with the government funding. Because now I'm understanding that I'm going to need the grant money to actually pay for the services.
Right.
And most importantly for me, Dawn, is the space itself. Not only that, if you call me and say, Mr. Steve, I want to come, you know, I'm a music teacher, right? I'm a volunteer in my service for teaching them music, right? If you tell me you want to volunteer your service, I'm gonna tell you come on.
Right.
The reason why I'm gonna tell you come on, because you talking about volunteering, you're not talking about charging.
Right.
But what I am gonna ask you, how much do you charge per person? And how long? Like if you say I teach them an hour and a half, I'm gonna say 75 or 150, somewhere along that line. Right? My goal is to get you the money. Because you volunteering. So I see to me, your heart is into it. It's like, I ain't worried about the money, but I want to get you paid for your service.
Right.
So I need you to at least come and at least provide some of this, volunteer it. Because when I hear you say you want to volunteer, that means your heart is for the people.
Right.
That's number one, how I look at people. And then the goal is to get the money to get you paid.
Right.
For your service.